Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the day 3 of our 31-day challenge. I'm so happy to have you here again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're watching me from. I am glad you joined me today. So, the hype is really high. It is day 3. We've done 3 whole days, and I'm just thankful to God. I'm thankful to God. Okay, so what do we have today? What do we have today? A topic that is really interesting, or a task or an activity for us that is really interesting. Okay, so today I asked a question. What would your child like to change about himself or herself? If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up, or just do anything. Give me a thumbs up, say hi to me, drop your comment in the comment section so that I will be sure that you are here. Can you hear me? Please, can you see me? I want your thumbs up, please. All right. So, what would your child like to change about himself or herself? What would your child like to change about himself or herself? Body image, we're going to look at different things, okay? Some possible things that children may want or may just feel they need to change, or may just feel uneasy about themselves, okay? Children having issues with their physical appearance or body image, it's something that we need to act on. It is an emergency for parents. It's not something to take for granted. If your child is having issues with body image, you need to act fast. You need to act fast. All right? Physical appearance. Okay, we're going to look at different aspects. We're going to look at different aspects. We're going to look at physical appearance in terms of height, weight. What do you? I wonder how many persons ask their children this question this morning, because I posted it in the morning. Okay, what would your child like to change about themselves? Okay, now physical appearance or body image is formed by the thoughts, feelings, the beliefs we have about our bodies, about ourselves, about the way we look. It includes the height of a child, the weight. Sometimes children are uncomfortable with their hair color. As funny as it is, or as simple as you think it is, sometimes children are uncomfortable with certain features on their body, like moles, freckles, pimples. Children are uncomfortable with some of these features, and it's not something that should be taken lightly. Sometimes children have issues with their dentition, just the way they just don't like the way their teeth looks, because they have seen every other person's teeth, and they feel theirs is different. Yes, we all have different types of dentition, and humanly speaking, looking at it from as humans, will say, oh, this person has a very beautiful dentition, this other person not so good. So some children already make themselves feel bad, begin to have issues with their appearance, issues with their body image very early in life. Okay, now body image issue starts developing very early, as early as preteen, when they start puberty. So let's say sometimes 7, 8, or even less than that, or even earlier than that. So we should keep our eyes down as parents. We should. Okay, what does a child think? Okay, sometimes children might just be wishing, oh, I just wish I'm a little taller. I just wish I am not as fat as I am. Oh, I just wish I can gain a little more weight. And it becomes something that can lead them to depression, something that can shut them up and tamper with their self-image or with their self-worth. Okay, what does a child think about themselves? What does your children think about themselves? Body image, yes, it evolves over time. Even some adults have issues with body image. Okay, but now as adults, most times it's easier for adults to maneuver and just get themselves together. So imagine how the children feel when when they have issues with their body image. Some children have issues with gender identity. Now, gender identity is not determined by anatomy as we know it. Okay, but why do we have people go into same-sex relationships? We have the gays, we have the lesbians, and the rest of them. The transgenders, we have so many. In fact, in a particular country, I heard there are more than 31 types of gender. Okay, so why do we have children? I was watching a documentary some time ago on Facebook, and I discovered, or I watched live some persons, they call them transgender, or they were a mix of different genders, and then they started talking about their childhood. Some of these things started as a result of body image. Some of these things started as a result of the experiences they had in their childhood. Okay, one of them said his classmate, a 4-year-old. Now, listen carefully. 4-year-old, he said he was just 4 when his classmate, a fellow male, gave him a kiss, and that was it for him. Body image can come from different, can come from different areas. It could be from peers, it could be from what they see, okay? It could be from what they watch on the TV that gives them this unrealistic perception of how a person should look. Okay, now other areas could be their skills and their abilities. Some children have issues with the fact that they feel they are not as gifted as other children. They feel they are not as talented. They feel they're not performing very well academically. And while as parents we may think we are supporting them enough, it tampers with so many things that we cannot even imagine. Some children have issues with the fact that they don't have talent. I can't sing as well as my friend. How come this person can act? This person can sing. This person plays football very well. I really wish there's some things that they really wish in their mind that they just can do. They wish they could just do, but it's not possible because they are not gifted to do it. And it becomes an issue in their mind because, like I said, it starts in our minds. It starts in their feelings, in their thoughts. All right. Now, so let's look at some of the reasons they could feel this way. Let's look at some of the reasons they could feel this way. Why do they feel the need to change some things about them? Now, feeling the need to improve in itself is not a bad thing. Feeling the need to become better or to do better is not a bad thing. But when it comes to the point where it begins to tamper with their mind, when it comes to a point where they go into their shell, it becomes a major issue. What are the reasons for these feelings? Number one, I'm going to talk about is societal pressure, unnecessary influence. Yesterday, I popped some questions. What does a child see? What does your child see? Okay, on the TV, on magazines, on social media, what do they see around? What do you expose them to? Some of us keep some of our magazines carelessly. Some of us keep some of our phones. We give it to them unattended to, unsupervised, and then they could just check whatever. What do they see? Because what they see forms a huge perception of themselves. Okay, some girls begin to see some persons dressed in certain ways. Yes, some of these things are inevitable, but the more you expose them, the more they're opportune to see these things. They have this perception that this is how a lady should look. And if they don't look that way, it becomes a major issue, especially when they are teenagers. That's why you see them because you bought them a particular dress or that seems below their knee. They feel nobody wears these things anymore. I want mine shorter. I want mine to look this way. I want mine to be very tight and huggy. It's formed from their perception of how things should be, and that is how the society has made it. Right now, if you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you go on TikTok, you see so many things, eyesores to the eye. Okay, and most of these things, funny enough, our teenagers see them, our children see them. unfortunately. And it forms a huge part of their perception. What do they perceive? All right, societal expectations, shaming, okay, could be another reason for that feeling. Shaming could come from so many. It's funny that children shame themselves over little argument. They start saying, "Look at your head." I remember an experience I had when I was in secondary school. I think I was about 13 or 14. I was just having a very simple, very minor argument with a classmate, and she was actually a friend, and she said something. We were just laughing, very funny as it's a very childish joke, but it tampered with my mind at some point, because she was saying, look at you, your skin color, I don't even understand it. And unfortunately for me, there was a goat passing by. This is a true story. And he said, your skin is just like this goat. Children have been shamed in funny ways. Why are you looking? You look so fat. How come you eat? Wow, it's like you eat too much. I've heard a story of a child, not even a teenager, trying to reduce her food so she can stay fit because of what a friend or because of what her classmates said to her. Okay, because of what her societal expectations, societal pressure, societal influences, children are being shamed, children are being bullied. If you don't ask your children, you may never know. That is why we need to ask these questions. We need to ask, what do you want to change about you? They may tell you, okay, I wish I can get slimmer. I wish I can do well in my academics. And then you know where to come in as a parent, whether it is to encourage them, whether it is to help them build self-acceptance and all that. You know where to come in exactly. Some children are talent shamed because they are not able to do some things. Sometimes in class, I remember when we were growing up, when you are not able to answer questions, or you're not able to do some things or meet up the standard and expectation of students that feel they are like the tops of the class, and then they say some things, they make some statements, they laugh. Some children may be experiencing that in class. Have you asked them? Funny enough, even as early as 4, 5, 3, maybe experiencing that. And if they are spoken enough, if they are able to speak and interact, you need to ask these questions. You need to ask them, what are people saying? What is that people are saying that is affecting them? Now, quickly, we're going to look at how we can help as parents. You need to understand the root cause. And you can only understand the root cause if you have popped this question. Like I said, you can always ask these questions directly. You don't even have to go beat around the bush. You can always ask these questions directly. They want to hear it. They want to hear it. I watched a documentary of teenagers and children when they were talking about what they expect from their parents, or what they wish their parents could do better. And they said, I wish they can just ask me questions. I wish they can just talk to me. They want to hear it. Sometimes it clogs their minds and it's overwhelming. You see them come home, that's the period of transition. They're going through a lot already in their minds, and then they're having issues with bullying, they're having issues with shaming. Okay, so you need to talk to them. Okay, when you talk to them, if you know these things, you'll be able to validate them, you'll be able to reassure them. Let them know that these things are normal. We can't always look the same. We can't all look the same. We cannot all have the same features on our body. We have to accept the way God has made us. We have to accept it. See, there's something acceptance of body image or acceptance of self does even to children. There's something it does, and it doesn't happen by magic. Okay, you have to do it as a parent. Boost their self-confidence. Funny enough, as parents, some of us are the ones that bully our children. We're the ones that shame them. The things we say, come on, look at your head, look at this. We might think they are simple, but they're not. You might think they are just things you're saying, but it's not. Some of them go back and think about it. Some of them go back and think deeply about it, about their body image, because of what we have said as parents. Okay, now encourage self-acceptance. Very major. Encourage your child to accept little children as early as 1. You can teach them how to accept themselves, how to accept their body. Some children have been called yamless because of that. They don't wear revealing clothes that are above their knees again. Because someone said they have a leg that looks like a yam, or someone has said something about it, they just dress in a way that will cover up. Okay, what are people saying about your child and how is it affecting them? Positive self-talk. Okay, recently I launched a journal, and one of the major features of that journal is what is affirmation, daily affirmation, where they are able to write down every day, oh, I am bold, I am strong. Because when when their self-esteem is tampered with, they will need to be reassured and revalidated over and over and over again. They will need it. You see, some adults, right, even in their adult age, they are unable to go talk in front of a crowd. They're able to do some things because they have had body image issues over time that has not been dealt with. They have had issues with shaming, with bullying over time that has not been dealt with. Some of their children have had issues with their performance, and it has built up over time. Academically, if their parents had observed early and helped them, they would have been able to improve. Because it's simple. If your child is having issues with their academics and they feel like it is affecting them, they want to change it. It is a welcomed improvement. You can get them lesson teachers. You can help them as parents. You can do things to help them. If they are lacking in one area, at least you know what they need. If your child is lacking in area of body image, you need to help them early enough, because they will grow with it and it will become worse as they grow. Okay? Personal experiences could be the reason. Their feelings, their rejections. Some children have felt rejected. Some children have felt criticized. They will just accumulate it, absorb it, and the next thing, they are so quiet, they are suddenly calm. The next thing, children that used to be very outgoing are suddenly calm when you take them out. Teenagers that used to be very boisterous are suddenly shy. Why? Because something was tampered with and nothing was done about it. What are you doing about your child's self-image? Someone popped a question on our parenting support WhatsApp group this morning, and she said, my children are just 2 or 3. How some of these things you will need to tailor, customize it. As early as 1, you can start telling them your eyes are beautiful, your ears are beautiful, wow, your lips are beautiful. You can start reassuring them, telling them your ends are perfect, your lips are just perfect, very beautiful. Reassure them. Almost every child has positive affirmation as their love language. Almost every child. Okay, in fact, every child, every teenager. And it's funny, it is most common with boys. You think they are boys, like we're raised, boys are strong, we're raising them to be strong, so let's not tell them things. But most boys even have words of affirmation as their love language, even more than most girls. So what are you saying to them? Every day, just the way we can lay our hands on them and pray and prophesy, prophesy those things aloud so that they will hear it. Make those prophecies loud enough for them to hear it, and it also builds their esteem. Make it loud enough, and then make sure that the affirmations are okay for them, and they repeat it after you. Heighten their self-awareness. Heighten their self-awareness. Encourage them daily. Encourage them. What are you doing? What plans do you have? Let's say you have not been conscious about building your child's self-esteem. What is your plan now as I'm talking to you watching? What is your plan? All right, it's almost the end of our live session. Can you give me a thumbs up before we go? I want to get those thumbs up before we go. If this live was just the way you thought it would be, as good as you thought it would be, please give me a thumbs up before we go. All right, so we have come to the end of our live section. Please, parents, I am begging, let them know how valuable they are. Let them know how important they are. Let them know how loved and cherished they are. These things, you have to say them. You let them hear it. Let the affirmation start from the home. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am glad you are here. I appreciate every one of you for joining. Thank you so much. I'll see you again tomorrow as we talk about another challenge.